welcome to Cecil.tv. It's February 13th, Valentine's Eve, and on our Cecil Weekly Show tonight, we have Ashley Dickens-York, who's going to talk to us about Project Prom.
Yes.
Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So Project Prom is one of the initiatives of where you work, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I work at the Domestic Violence Rape Crisis Center. We are transitioning right now to a new name, actually, so it'll be The Bridge Domestic Violence Rape Crisis Center. And I'm the only one from that program that is part of Project Purpose. So Project Purpose is the organization that puts together Project Prom, and it's made up of a couple of different people from different organizations in the county. And
Project Prom is something that happens 2 Saturdays, February 25th, correct?
1 Saturday a year.
Okay, but I mean, it's 2 Saturdays from now,
2
right?
Saturdays from now, yeah.
So it's in Elkton. And
it's in Elkton.
Explain to our viewers a little bit about what Project Prom is, where it is, and what to expect.
Okay. So Project Prom is at Elkton United Methodist Church, which is right near the end of Main Street. And we, like I said, do the event once a year there, and essentially it's just getting girls ready for prom. So boys are not invited, but last year we kind of included them in more things and had tuxes there and stuff, and none of them showed up. So this year we really just have the dresses and stuff like that. So girls can come and get free prom dresses, free shoes, free accessories. They're all donated, but some of them are brand new. So there's an organization called promgirl.com. And they sell prom dresses, and they will send us some of them. So they donate to this event. And so girls come, they get food, they get hopefully some dating violence education. So dating violence tends to start around this age group, and it's not something that a lot of people are aware of, and not something that a lot of people are really talking about at this age group. I think everyone kind of has the idea that it's like for older married people that live in a house, and it's physical abuse, and that's the end of it. But it actually starts much earlier. And so we kind of want to let them know about some red flags, some warning signs, what they can do. We want to let them know about our program at Domestic Violence Rape Crisis Center, and kind of give them the skills and tools that they need to take care of themselves in that. We also want to get them ready for prom. So we want to get their hair done, makeup done, get them kind of acclimated to what they might do to get ready for prom, and get them a dress to go in, and shoes and accessories. So
this is kind of like a practice session for the prom. And you're also open every Wednesday through prom season. Did I read that correctly?
Well, we are not open. So that's something that gets a little lost in translation sometimes. But Elkton United Methodist Church has a prom boutique all year long, so girls can come get homecoming dresses and stuff like that. But we don't have this event all year long.
I see.
I'm not sure exactly what the hours of the prom boutique are, but you can find out by checking like Elkton United Methodist Facebook page and stuff like that.
Right.
But this event is just once a year.
So if a young lady comes to this event, she can actually walk out with a prom dress or a choice of a prom dress.
Right, for free.
And people can donate, viewers out there, you can donate to Project Prom as well. I know you can donate shoes, accessories, and plus-size dresses are what they're really looking for right now.
Right.
So you're also seeking donated food for the event? Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so some food items. Since everything's free, we want to feed them for free as well. And the specific ones are things like sandwiches, cookies, fruit, veggies, veggie dip, crackers, cheese, juice, water, not things that could be spilled easily on dresses and stuff like that. But if you're more comfortable, maybe donating like a grocery store gift card or something like that, that'll work too, and we can go out and get stuff before the event.
And if somebody wants to donate, Ashley, how do they go about it? How do they contact you?
Yeah, they want to contact me. There are a couple of different ways to do that. So there's, you can call the hotline for the Domestic Violence Rape Crisis Center and just ask for me, Ashley DY. You can also email me, or you can look on our Facebook page. You can message us on our Facebook page, and that is Project Purpose -MD.
So that number I'm looking is 410-996-0333, right?
Yeah, and you can also call that number. That's a hotline. So if you have any questions about dating violence, about DV, about this event, about teen dating violence, anything like that, you're always welcome to call.
Great. Well, it sounds like barring snow.
We'll be there if it snows.
You
we
can
will
come,
be there.
You can come see these folks at Project Prom.
Also transportation. So
Yeah.
if anyone needs transportation to the event, we're offering that for free this year. So they can call or email. Let me give my email if that's okay.
Yo, sure.
It's Ashley, ASHLEY, Dickens, DICKENS -YORK at Maryland, spelled out, .gov. It's kind of long. But if you go to the Facebook page, all this information is on there too. So you can, if you want to call an RSVP, that would be great. We would love for you to RSVP, whether you need transportation or not. But the way to get transportation is to RSVP and then ask for it.
Great. Sounds like it's a great purpose, and I think you can never really start spreading the word and educating early enough.
Never. You're right.
And there are some folks that, young ladies that might not have the means to get a nice prom dress.
Exactly. And we have some really nice ones there.
Come see Ashley and the folks at Project Prom.
Yeah,
and
please.
You will be the bomb at the prom. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Allison for Cecil.tv. Today we're at Plumpton Park Zoo in Rising Sun, Maryland, just 2 days before Valentine's Day. The zoo is raising money to get Jimmy, Cecil County's favorite long-necked resident, a Valentine of his very own. And we're here with the president and director of the zoo and the director of facilities of the zoo to tell us more about this project. So on Friday, you had a fundraiser at Bottom of the Hill Bar and Grill to raise money for Jimmy's girlfriend. How did that go?
It was excellent. All the community came out. We had silent auctions, and Bottom of the Hill actually donated 50% of the receipts for the day just to go towards Jimmy's new girlfriend.
And how does a zoo go about getting a new giraffe?
Unfortunately, because they are not quite common, it is a purchase. It's not going to be a borrowed animal or a breeding loan. It will have to be a purchase, which is why we're doing a fundraiser for her.
And so where will Jimmy and his girlfriend live?
We just completed a brand new home for Jimmy. He is moved in and acclimating to his new environment. So as soon as we have our ribbon cutting on March 25th, it will be open to the public and everyone can come see him. The building that we built will house up to 5 to 6 giraffes. So the hope is that if we can get a female and we can start a conservation project and start breeding reticulated giraffes.
And what else will happen in the giraffe house?
Well, right now the facility, we added also a meeting space where we can have events and people will be able to actually see Jimmy and any other giraffes. Also, the zoo commissary is in the basement of the building, which is an all-new commissary to allow for the zookeepers to really provide professional service for the whole zoo. The building itself for giraffes is state-of-the-art with radiant floor heat in the floor. It also has air filtration because the building is so well insulated. And we were very fortunate. The building was put together mostly with volunteers and donations. An amazing amount of generosity went into the project.
So is the commissary where I see all of the birthday cakes for each of the zoo animals? Is that where those are made?
Actually, no, believe it or not. The ingredients are kept there, but the cakes that are actually baked are taken either off-site or baked in one of the apartments for the zookeepers, because we don't actually have, other than making those birthday cakes, we don't have a reason to cook. The animals, for the most part, eat raw food. So those ingredients are stored there, and then the keepers will generally take those either to an apartment that we have a couple of keepers that live on site, or we have a kitchen for the office, and then they'll actually do the baking there.
Very cool. So what other campaign for fundraising do you have planned for the year?
The first campaign I'd like to highlight is a new enclosure for the tigers. We had set a $50,000 goal for ourselves, and I'm pretty sure we'll be breaking ground this summer. So we'll be starting that project to get them a new home as well. After that, we are in the process of an expansion for the bears. We still call them our babies, but we are actually increasing their area so they have a little pool and a little cave with a waterfall. It will be a nice addition for them.
And you mentioned earlier that you're gearing up for summer camps. What kinds of summer camp activities do kids do here?
We partner with Cecil College every year, and we are one of their destination camps. So we do zoo camps for the little kids, and we do zoo interns for the older kids, and we'll go up to 17 years of age if kids want to learn how to take care of exotic animals.
Cool. How can people learn more about Plumpton Park Zoo?
The best way is to go to our Facebook page. We have a lot of followers on Facebook. Also, we have a website and Twitter, but Facebook is our most active platform. So if you want to find out what's going on at the zoo, that's the best place to go.
Okay.
And now on Cecil Weekly, local musician, music store owner, and celebrity, Dean Sap. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dean, I know you got something coming up real soon.
Yes,
but
we
tell
do.
us about your music, how you got started, and a little bit about your store.
How I got started. My uncles and my grandfather on my mother's side were all professional musicians. And my mother's side of the family, well, let's put it this way. When we had a family reunion, it was like a big orchestra because everybody brought their instruments. It's wonderful. My dad's side of the family, him and his 7 brothers were all hunters and fishermen, and they didn't care for the music. My father hated the fact that I played music for the most part. But I actually got my start through my grandfather and my 2 uncles. My 2 uncles were Sonny and Johnny Miller that played with the house band at Sunset Park for years with Ola Bell and Alex Campbell.
Sure.
And they took me under their wing. They saw something in me that the rest of the family didn't. And they encouraged me and encouraged my talents. And they would come and pick me up and put me between them on the front seat of the car and take me to Sunset Park. And they would school me all the way up there and all the way back.
And this, Dean, is when you were a youngster.
I was maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. First time I played on stage, I was 13 years old, and I played at Sunset Park, and I had a little banjo, a little junky banjo, and of course Earl Scruggs was the big, hot banjo player, and he had songs that he did with his D-tuners and all that. Well, I couldn't afford none of that, so I made me a set of D-tuners out of a coat hanger, and when I got up there that night to play, I played Foggy Mountain Breakdown and Flint Hill Special, which is the detuning thing. And I got a standing ovation. And I said, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Awesome. You
I've
knew
been
right
hooked
then and
ever
there,
since.
right?
Been hooked ever since.
And some of our younger viewers, if you don't know, Dean plays country and bluegrass music, and that's how you started at Sunset Park,
Yes.
which was an iconic park.
Yes.
Back up, where was that?
That was in West Grove, Pennsylvania.
Right over the line, right?
Right, yep. It was off of Old Route 1. As a matter of fact, if you know where Jennersville Hospital is, it was right next door.
And all the big acts came
Oh
through.
yes, the properties actually joined each other. And it was run by the Waltman family, wonderful family.
So you started, Dean, on, I guess you would say, on banjo on stage.
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 6 years old.
Right.
I started playing a banjo when I was 8, and everything else just kind of fell into place. Fiddle, dobro, upright bass, electric guitar, anything with a string on it.
Well, I know I was in your store on Route 40 around Northeast last week. We were talking about the show and getting ready for this. And you have a little bit of everything in there.
Oh yeah, I try to have a little something for everybody. You know, everybody has different tastes. So I have electric guitars, I have supplies, I got strings and capos and all that kind of stuff. But I try to have a little something for everybody. Plus I'm a repair center for the Martin Company and a half a dozen other companies. And I make my own line of instruments under the Old Train label.
So musicians out there, if they need something fixed, like I was talking to you about a stand-up bass that I have, come see Dean.
There you go.
And you're closed on Mondays, right?
Closed on Mondays. I'm open Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturdays 10 until 2. So yeah, bring it down. If it's made out of wood, it can be fixed.
That sounds great. I will bring it. I definitely will bring it down. Now you're going to play this coming Saturday at Gracie's Cafe in Elkton.
Yes.
With your band, the Hartford Express?
Yes.
I got to know, Dean. Trains are so big in country music. How did you get the name Hartford Express?
Well, I actually live in Harford County, And I started with a group of people, and actually I wasn't the leader of the band at the time, and they called it Harford County Express. And they decided they didn't want to do it anymore, and there I stood by myself. So I said, well, I'm just going to drop the Harford and just call it, or the county, and call it Harford Express. So that's where it came from.
And I've seen that name for many, many years.
Yeah, I've been around since dirt.
Well, speaking of dirt, they have a lot of red dirt in Australia.
Yes,
and weren't
they
you
do.
down there a few years
I
back?
was in Australia. I did a 10-day tour of Australia in 1998. The most wonderful people I have ever met in my entire life. I still stay in contact with a lot of them.
Wow.
The promoter that got me over there, his name is Howard Miller. No relation to my family, but just a wonderful man, just wonderful people. And I actually, my wife Linda and I actually got to stay in the homes of the people. So we really got to know them up close and personal instead of just from a business
Right.
aspect. So it was really nice. They really treated us, they treated me like Elvis. I mean,
That's awesome.
we flew into Sydney. We went all the way south, and I worked 2 shows a day for 10 days, all the way back up the coast. And then we came back to Sydney and flew home. It was wonderful, just wonderful.
The land down under.
The land down under.
Do they have a kind of music down there that's kind of the equivalent to bluegrass?
They have, well, actually the band that was my band as I was traveling around, they traveled with me. It was a group called Sleight of Hand, the best bluegrass band in Australia, by far. I sent all my recorded product, all my CDs and everything over there 4 months before we went. And, excuse me, these guys rehearsed every song on those CDs. And the first night that the first show I did was 8 o'clock at night. I stepped out on the stage. We warmed up a little bit backstage, and it sounded pretty good, you know. So we got out on stage, and I mean, they had it. They had every kickoff to every song. They had every break. They had all the harmonies. You name it, they had it, and they were good. They made my life very easy.
That's awesome. And I'm sure the Hartford Express does as well, and you're coming up playing with these guys. How many? And tell us again about Gracie's this coming
Well, there's
Saturday.
4 guys in my band. We have guitar, banjo. I'm the banjo player. Guitar, banjo, mandolin, and bass. And that's really about all you need. You can add other things into bluegrass, but those are the 4 main components. Gracie's will be this Saturday night. The doors open at 6:30. The show starts at 7. It's $10 at the door. It's a no alcohol, no smoking venue. It's a family-oriented venue, so a man can feel good about bringing his wife and youngins to a show and not worry about some kind of trouble or something drunk or something like that happening. I wouldn't put on any other kind of show.
Well, that sounds really great. And there may be some 6-year-old kid out there that's coming to this show that's going to see you and pick up just like you did.
There you
and
go.
fall in love with bluegrass and country
Exactly.
music.
That's what I hope for.
You're going to play for us tonight, right?
Oh, I'm going to do something, yeah.
Good. Something you wrote?
Yeah, I'll do you a couple of songs I wrote. Yeah.
And this stuff is available on your CDs, which you'll have at the show, right?
I'll have them at the show. I have them at the store. Yeah, I mean, everything's available.
Well, I hope you just get to picking. Thank you, Dean. We're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to hearing your song.
Thank you very much.
And the show at Gracie's this Saturday night.
Okay, I'm going to play you a couple of songs here that I wrote. This first one is called Little Churches. I love little churches. I love little churches where there's maybe 25 or 30 people and everybody knows everybody. If one hurts, they all hurt. If one has a joy, they all experience it. A nice, close-knit little church. I get lost in big churches for some reason. And I just find that the little church, I can really get in touch with my feelings toward our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So I wrote a song called Little Churches, and it goes like this. little churches across this land mean the most to the working man. It's the little ones that makes him feel at home. Big fancy churches have their place, I guess. I'm kinda like all the rest. I go there to worship God and not for show. In that little church just down the road, not too far, just a mile or so, I used to go there as a child. But now the paint is gray and old, and the hinges on the doors don't hold. No one seems to go there anymore. And it's the little churches across this land mean the most to the working man. It's the little ones that makes him feel at home. Big fancy churches have their place, I guess. I'm kinda like all the rest. I go there to worship God and not for show. In that little church when I was just a child, I saw a newly married couple smile. I saw the tears of those that read the graves. I saw the meanest man in 7 counties fall on his knees and beg for mercy the day that his only son was killed. And it's the little churches across this land mean the most to the working man. It's the little ones that makes him feel at home. Big fancy churches have their place, I guess. I'm kinda like all the rest. I go there to worship God and not for show. And it's the little churches across this land mean the most to the working man. It's the little ones that makes him feel at home. Big fancy churches have their place, I guess. I'm kinda like all the rest. I go there to worship God and not for show. Yeah, I go there to worship God and not for show. Okay, here's another song. I look at songs and look at life from a different angle than most people do. A lot of people write a song about she left him, he left her, blah, 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 blah. I write a song from the background of a situation. For instance, there's something that's done that nobody ever talks about with our military. It's always been done ever since the Revolutionary War in this country, right up on through Vietnam and every war we've ever been in. What it is, it's a letter that the GI, male or female, will write and put into their belongings in case they don't make it home. So I was riding around in my old white Chevy pickup truck one night, and I said to myself, if you were going to do that, what would you write in your letter? And this song came to mind, and I just call it Dear Daddy. Dear Daddy, if you're reading this letter, well, I guess it means I won't be coming home. But I still recall all the things you taught me, like believe in Jesus, he will take you home. I remember when I was 10, you said die dying's not the end. Just believe in God and He will see you through. And me and Mama will be waiting there for you. When your time down here on earth is through. Please give all my medals to little brother when he's old enough to understand why I had to come here, defend our freedom. An important thing that some don't understand. Well, you taught me when I was 10 that dying's not the end. Just believe in God and He will see you through. And we will be waiting there for you. Across the river Jordan, there on heaven's shore. Dear Daddy, if you're reading this letter, well, I guess it means I won't be coming home. But I still recall all the things you taught me, like believe in Jesus, He will take you home. Yes, I still recall all the things you taught me, like believe in Jesus, He will take you